Hello, everyone, and welcome to ProList webinar on the 2021 Earned Value Promotion through the United States Postal Service. My name is Sylvia Taylor. I am Chief Marketing Officer of ProList and your host today. I also have with me Dave Lewis, who is Vice President at ProList and knower of all things mail, as well as Karen Bartram, who is our Director of Client Relations, and she works at our sister company, Snailworks. So thank you very much for taking the time to join us today. We promise that this will be a very informative half hour with everything you need to know to take advantage of the Earned Value Promotion and start earning those 2 cents back on your return mail pieces. But first, before we get started, I would just like to say a few words about ProList, who we are, if anyone that's not familiar. So ProList has roots in direct marketing and direct marketing production for over 30 years. Our background is primarily in database management, automation and mail processing as one of the first adopters of the users of the barcode, and also in data and personalization. We also offer more traditional letter shop and fulfillment services, plus a variety of multi-channel marketing techniques with Snailworks, based largely in part on their mail tracking technology and reporting. As a segue into the EVP promotion, it's possible through mail tracking and the barcode. Mail tracking is an amazing addition to the ability to mail in modern times. It provides mailers with confirmation and proof of mailing, the ability to identify and track delivery issues down to individual post offices and pieces of mail. It allows marketers and mailers to coordinate with many other marketing channels to deploy combined efforts. And it offers unique opportunities like this Earned Value Promotion, which is driven in large part through the tracking information provided in barcodes. It also allows for us to anticipate and prepare for the responses to these mailings. So without any further delay, I would like to introduce Dave Lewis, who will take the program from here to talk a little bit more about the Earned Value Promotion. Dave, take it away.
Okay, thank you, Sylvia. And as Sylvia said, thank you all for attending today. We will try to make this informative and quick. If you've been to my webinars, I talk fast anyway. But fortunately for everyone, I'm just going to talk a little bit. We've kind of got an EVP sandwich here. I'm going to talk a little bit about the Earned Value Promotion, just give a quick overview, talk some about inbound mail tracking, which I think is very important right now and sort of a key part of this promotion. And then I'm going to turn it over to someone smarter than me, which is Karen Bartram, and she'll kind of go through the nuts and bolts of what you need to do to participate in this. It's a pretty easy promotion. We like it because of that. We like easy things, but it's still tricky enough that getting some help to go through it'll be valuable. So let's talk about some of the highlights about the promotion. It's already started. Well, the registration has started. The promotion itself has not started. So registration started on February 15th and goes through March 31st. This is a little different than most of the other promotions because you have to be registered in advance. If you're not registered in the promotion by March 31st, then you won't be able to participate in it. The promotion actually runs from April 1st, 2021 through June 30th. So you'll be earning your 2 cents per reply envelope during that time. And so during the promotion, the Postal Service will give participating mailers a 2 cent credit for every registered piece of USPS reply mail. So their objective is to get people to put reply envelopes into the mail, and that's so they're going to give you 2 cents, whether it's a CRE. So it could be courtesy reply mail, business reply mail, qualified business reply mail, and share mail are all eligible. So share mail is kind of an interesting one. We see in a lot of political mailers have done that, and we've seen it in other applications too. So if you have a share mail where you have someone sharing taking a piece and sharing it out to others, those pieces that they're sharing will also be eligible to get the 2 cent credit. Permit reply mail and ballot reply mail are not eligible. permit reply mail, just to explain that, because I honestly had to look it up when it came up and said, what's that versus other things? Permit reply mail is a fairly specialized brand of prepaid reply mail. The main customer is Netflix, things like that, where very high percentage of return. And and it's a lower cost, so the Postal Service doesn't want to give them another 2 cents. Ballot reply mail, kind of the same thing. Not a lot of elections occurring during those 3 months, so I think we'll be okay on that. The credits are given out after the completion of the promotion. So you can track them of how many credits you have, but you get them after the promotion. And the credits, they don't send you a check. It has to be applied to a permit holder's outbound mail permit. That's one of the advantages of working with someone like ProList to coordinate this, because as Karen will go into the details, we're going to assign your credits to the ProList permit, and then and all of our customers will go in there, and then we apportion the credits out to those customers after the promotion is over. So I want to talk a little bit about inbound mail in general before we get into the nitty gritty of the promotion. And so there's 2 kinds of inbound mail tracking that we participate in and that are available through the Postal Service Informed Visibility Program. Response tracking, it's kind of it's hard to distinguish them sometimes, but one we call response tracking, which is mostly what we see, the typical application of business reply envelopes for fundraisers and people like that who have a closed face BRE. They all have the same barcode on them. And we can track those coming inbound. That's most of what we're going to be tracking for this promotion. And the Postal Service, even though all the envelopes are going to the same address, have the same barcode on them, the Postal Service actually identifies each piece with a unique piece identifier, their own secret magic to do that. So sometimes you may see an orange barcode on the back of some pieces. There's other methods they use too in numbering each individual piece. Then the other kind of reply mail, which applies mostly to organizations that are sending out remittance advice that had to be put into a window envelope and returned. So think of a credit card bill, a medical bill maybe, or something like that, or that where you refold the piece and put it in an envelope, and there's an IMB showing through the window. And those can also, those you can track the individual pieces and tell who mailed them in, and also it is eligible for the promotion. So let's talk about response tracking then a little bit. And that's most what we're going to be looking at. So response tracking is the case where we're using a single envelope that all are the same, and we're using that to track how many responses you get every day. It's usually used on closed face pre-printed reply envelopes. It can be used with courtesy reply mail, which is your prospect or donor puts their own stamp on it, or business reply mail. Works well on letters and flats. I know if you've tracked mail, sometimes flats can be tricky. Inbound mail, though, flats get a very, very high first scan percentage. It's very simple to implement. To turn to make a BRE or a courtesy reply envelope trackable really just involves changing the IMB, the barcode, a little bit, a few bars on that. And making it trackable doesn't mean you always have to track it, but you can change and put a service type ID in the barcode. It's one of the components of the barcode that makes it trackable. So it's easy to do. And our objective here is we want to catch the first scan as the mail travels through the post office. When we're tracking outbound mail, we want to catch the last scan, but in this case, we want to catch the first scan, which means somebody has placed a donation or a response of some kind in the mail. And here's the best part, it can be combined with this promotion. So when you're doing the tracking, you're also getting, it's helpful in getting be eligible for the promotion. And so to talk a little bit about, it's worth looking at how inbound mail travels. So when somebody drops a donation in a mailbox or takes it to the post office or puts it in their own mailbox, whatever it may be, it'll be picked up by a carrier or by someone at the post office and then be sent to probably a sectional center where it'll be dumped in with all the other inbound mail. And then it'll go through a canceling process where the stamp is canceled. Even if there's not a stamp on it, it'll generally go through this canceling process where it'll be maybe identified as business reply mail. That's why you have all those funny marks on business reply mail. And so this what we're looking at here, these are the scans that a single mail piece went through. And in this case, and they all had the same barcode on them, but they had on the 3rd of March, this went through stamp cancellation. That's what 004 is in Bedford Park, Illinois. And so this, by looking at this, you can tell when the response came. Now, when you start consolidating that with others, then you can tell how many people have replied each day and get at least a limited geographic look at where they are. Again, you won't know who's replying, but you can tell who's replying and sort of where they're from. And we have different ways that people use this. We have some clients now who have one barcode that they'll use for a year. This particular client does renewals and 2 different renewals that they run all year, and they use the same BRE each time. But they continue to track it, so we can see they kind of bump up and down as response comes in. So again, their objective here is to just know what their response is. They want to know what the response rate is, and by tracking the mail and getting it as soon as it's been dropped in the mailbox, you're not waiting for a caging company to get back to you. You can see your response directly. Some people use a different IMB on each project, on each mailing, and because they want to know the specific response for that mailing. This all became very popular back in the spring, especially when during the pandemic, response rates and delivery were so uncertain. So having this kind of inbound tracking was very valuable. So the benefits of response tracking is you do get immediate response measurement. The day after someone puts it in the mail, you're going to know that they did. You can anticipate revenue. You can evaluate the best days for response. You can see how many people send in their replies on Monday, Tuesday, whatever the day of the week may be, and make some judgments based on that. And we do have some clients who are very intense about when their mail gets delivered, what day of the week, because they know certain days are better than others. You can staff for anticipated response. And we did this with a couple of absentee ballot counties out in California. They were very large counties. They just wanted to know how many ballots they were being placed in the mail each day so they could anticipate it. Got a little tricky with business reply mail. That can snag things for a day or two sometimes. And then they did A/B testing. You can do A/B testing of different versions and panels. Again, very easy. Just use a different barcode on each panel. And then it's very, very easy to compare how different panels or different versions of a project are doing. So a lot of good reasons to do inbound tracking beyond the promotion, but the promotion is really what we're all here about today. So I'm going to go ahead and stop my fast talking and let Karen Bartram take over. And Karen is the Director of Client Relations for Snailworks, and probably one of the premier experts at this point on tracking outbound and inbound. So Karen, if it's okay with you, it's all yours.
Thank you, Dave. And good afternoon, everybody. As Dave indicated, this is a pretty easy promotion to participate in. And I'm going to offer 2 different paths to you. The first is pretty easy. It assumes that you're going to take care of the registration and manage the promotion yourself. And then I'll give you a second path, which is even easier yet. And as a spoiler alert, I will say, and that's with working with ProList. So if you decide you want to register and manage the promotion yourself, like I say, pretty easy. A few things you will need to do. You'll need to register for the promotion on time, which we've already indicated, that's March the 31st. And what you'll do is you'll need to identify which of your mids that you're going to be printing or have already printed on your reply mail, and that's the mid that you're going to select. Or if you have more than one, you may select more than one mid to participate in the promotion. And it's important to note, it's the mid owner who has to register. And then you'll designate what outgoing postal permit you want the credits to go to. If you don't have an outgoing postal permit, that's okay. You can work with your mail shop and get their information and delegate your credits to be delegated to them, and then they can share those credits with you. Yes, you will be dealing with the USPS and the Postal Gateway but that's not really too bad of a problem. I will walk you through that process here in a moment. And then at the conclusion of the promotion period, which runs from April 1 through the end of June, starting July 1, you'll need to approve those credits. You'll have a window of July 1 through September 15. And once again, you'll be approving those credits through the Postal Gateway. So the registration process, the first step is that you'll need to identify the BSA or the Business Service Administrator in your organization and get them to either log in and register you or give you privileges to log in and register. Once you log into the gateway, you'll navigate to the tab for incentive programs. And I have a couple of screenshots I'll show you in a moment. And once you get to the incentive programs, you'll select the Earned Value Promotion 2021. And then it's really a matter of following the registration wizard. Not a lot of hard questions. They're going to want to know basic contact information. That's where you'll pick which of your mids. They'll all be listed there for you. You'll select which ones are participating. And then that's where you designate also what outgoing postal permit will receive your credits. So you'll need to have your mid handy. You'll need to have the permit that you're designating to receive the credits handy. And again, any mid can be on that inbound mail piece. It could be the mail owner, the person that or organization that the mail benefits. It could be your mail service provider like ProList. In some cases, it's even your mail tracker. So when you log into the gateway, this is what you'll see. And you just navigate down to this link down here for incentive programs and click on that. And then what'll happen is you'll get a listing of all the incentive programs. As of now, the Earned Value Promotion for 2021 is down at the bottom. Do select carefully. For some reason that escapes me, the 2019 and the 2020 promotions are listed. You want the 2021. And once you click on that link, you'll enter the wizard and you'll see all of these tabs. And it just kind of you clear each tab, you answer each question underneath each tab. I do want to point out the last tab at the bottom is program assistance. If you run into any issues, I have found the post office to be actually incredibly helpful. At that tab, there's, I believe, an email address and perhaps a phone number where you can reach out to the program manager, and she's incredibly helpful and will do everything she can to get you signed up properly so there are no problems. Also, one of the resources we'll be sharing is a recorded webinar the post office has on how to register, and it's a very step-by-step, like 20-minute webinar. Very useful. So once you're registered for the promotion, you need to ensure that you've got a mid that is registered for the promotion printed on your reply pieces. If you have a mid that's not registered, you will not receive credit. And if you're an agency, we say it's a little bit tricky. I want to say there's a lot of options because, again, realize that a lot of different players' mids could be on those reply pieces. It's got to be the mid owner is the one who registered. So whoever registered for the promotion, their mid needs to be on that mail piece. If you're not certain, an MDA specialist with the post office can help you decode your INV on your mail piece. And I think any of the reps at ProList also would be delighted to help you with that process. And an interesting note, while you may print reply pieces up specifically for this promotion, you can continue using those reply pieces after the promotion. There's nothing special about them that prohibits you from using them year round. And at the conclusion of the promotion, which runs from the 1st of April through the end of June, you need to claim your discounts, and you'll log back into the gateway and you'll see an accounting of your credits. You have between July 1 and September 15 to review your credits and determine that they look reasonable with what you received back. If it really looks off, you can reach out to the post office and work that out. But you only have till September 15. And the credits must be used by December 31st, meaning you have to do a mailing where you claim those credits. And the credits can be claimed on any first-class pre-sort or USPS marketing mail, which includes nonprofit mail. The person submitting the mail to the post office claims that credit on the postal statement. And there's a document that ProList can provide to you to give to your mail service provider. They put a code RR in the CCR field, which will make sense to anyone preparing postal statements. And as I said earlier, there's a really easy path for this. Let ProList to do it for you. What you would do is send a sample of your reply envelope, and at that point, the ProList people will use a MID that they're already delegating to be a part of the promotion, and they'll build a barcode for your reply mail that has all the appropriate information in that barcode, so that they can set up a mail tracking job for you, ensure that you're registered for the promotion. And then at the end of the promotion, they'll take those credits, they'll approve them on your behalf, they'll go on to a ProList permit for you, and then that way your next mailing, they'll be able to help you get those discounts off of the outgoing postage for your mailing. So ProList will provide you new art for your BRE or CRE, or alternatively, you certainly can have ProList print that for you. And as I said earlier, we'll create an inbound response tracking job for you and claim the credits on your behalf. The only real deadline you have to worry about is doing a mailing before the 31st of December and making sure that your ProList rep knows that's the mailing that you want to take your credits on.
Well, thanks, Karen. And that kind of goes into that's, it really couldn't be much easier. The first part of that, where Karen goes through the process that sort of ProList has to go through, and someone doing their own mailings have to, to set up themselves. As I said, it's simple, but it gets kind of weedy with the business customer gateway and all that. It's just so much easier to have ProList be able to do that for you. It's again, it's a simple promotion. You can do it yourself. We can do it for you. Tracking responses. That's something that we set up when we're setting up for the promotion. And we think it's important. Again, that's sort of part of the appeal to us, is we think when people have tracked their response mail, they will find it very valuable and beyond the promotion, that it's worth more than 2 cents to know what's going on with your response. And either way, whichever way you set it up, whether you use ProList, and again, with ProList, all you really do is give us the art and sit back. We take care of the rest. But either way, it's coming up quickly. As I said, this is one of those funny promotions at the end of March. If you're not signed up, and I know we need a couple of days on our end to get people enrolled. So at the end of March, if you're not signed up, then it's just you're not going to get anything for it. And if you get a lot of reply mail, it can add up to a significant amount of money. We did this for a few large clients last year, and it was very beneficial to them. So let me give you some resources if you really want to dig into the nitty gritty and live where we live. There is a website called Postal Pro. So it's postalpro.usps.com, and we're going to get you a copy of this promotion, so don't feverishly write down all these slashes and hyphens that are in this. But that, any of these, if you sort of go to these sites or Google on, or not Google, but I mean, there's a search function in there and search on promotions. You can find the detailed information on this. Again, there's not a whole lot to see that we didn't cover today. And as Karen said, there's an excellent video that the Postal Service has put together as well. to cover the details of the step-by-step registration process. Of course, also you can reach out to Sylvia or me or Karen. Any of us are happy to help you, as well as your project managers, salespeople. There's just a lot of people at ProList who would be happy to help you through this. We think it's a great promotion. It's easy to participate in, and we hope you will. So thanks for attending. I'm going to go ahead now and open it up for any questions. Sylvia, we'll let you run the questions for us. Do we have any?
Hi, Dave. Yes, we did have a few questions come in. There seems to be a lot of interest in registering and taking advantage of this promotion by doing it the easier way, which is not having to deal with the business gateway and the registration and everything them individually. And one of the questions was, how much would it cost to actually have ProList do this on behalf of some of our clients? And I'll go ahead and answer that one. There are really two small costs involved in being able to take advantage of this. And the first one is to make sure that your reply art is trackable. So as Karen mentioned, if we have the art and can generate the assign a trackable barcode and then return camera ready art for you to either print that envelope or for us to print it and to do the inbound mail tracking, that is a flat charge of $150 a job. And that includes up to 4 months of response tracking as well. Now, for an extra $50, we will actually enroll that IMB, the barcode, in the earned value promotion. So doing that is really a very small fee. We will take advantage of distributing the credits at the end of the promotion as well. So that makes it very, very easy and just a small amount to be able to take advantage of the promotion. I did get another question, and this one is, what if the outbound mail goes to a commingler? And I'll defer to either you, Dave, or Karen on answering that one.
Yeah, I'll take that one. And again, it's really very simple, which is it doesn't matter how the reply piece gets there. It's the barcode on the reply piece that matters. So if a commingler sends your mail, or if it goes direct from ProList, or if it drop ships, or however it gets there, or if you get on a burro and ride yourself and hand it out to people, as long as the right barcode is on the reply envelope, you'll get the credit as it comes in. Okay. I don't suggest the burro option, by the way.
Okay, perfect. Along that line, here's another more technical question. Does the outgoing mail piece need to be mailed under a permit, or can it be mailed with stamps?
Either way, it's as I said, the outbound piece doesn't really impact it. The only thing that matters is the inbound piece. Now, if you're asking about how to apply the credits afterwards, in that case, it does have to be, well, even on a stamp permit, usually there's a residual payment that comes out of a permit. That's something that we could work out with ProList. So I think the outbound either way would work for you.
Okay. And then a question just came in for some clarification on the pricing for this, if ProList handles it. The question is it $150 per each individual job? So what happens if we are doing multiple mailings during the promotion period? Is it still $150 for each job?
It's really $150 for each IMB created. So if you use the same business reply envelope for all those mailings during it, then that's all it is. It's just that one charge. If you're using different IMBs on those envelopes, then it's a setup per IMB. That makes sense?
That makes sense. That makes sense. And then one final question. If we just need help with the setup process, but don't want to pay the $150 per IMB, is that an option?
We can't enroll for you that way. You'd have to enroll yourself. But of course, we're helpful people and we'll help you walk through the process. But we can't really set it up for you unless we're doing it on the permit, on the MID that we're using for that.
Okay, and that makes sense. All right, that concludes our presentation today. We're ending right on time at 1 o'clock. As Dave mentioned, if anyone has any additional questions, please do not hesitate to contact any of us. And you will also be receiving a copy of the presentation and access to it as a recording as well. So if you missed anything, not to worry, you can go back and re-listen or look at the presentation. So thank you very much. I hope you are able to take advantage of this promotion and start saving those pennies. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks.
Thanks.